Some of you here, the reason why you're not seeing the sales that you want to see yet is because you haven't yet recognized this one truth, that marketing is the lifeline of your business. There are some of you who truly believe the lifeline of your business is building a funnel. Who am I talking to right now? The lifetime of your business is having business cards. The lifeline of your business is you putting out endless content. That's what some of you are thinking. But the reality is the lifeline of your business is marketing. Without marketing, people do not know you. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. It's not trick questions, by the way. So I don't want you to overthink it. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Just drop a me in the chat if you ever heard of it. Have you ever heard of the brand Nike? Just drop a me in the chat if you ever heard of the brand Nike. Have you ever heard of Forever 21? Drop a me in the chat if you ever heard of Forever 21. Last one. Have you ever heard of Gatorade? If you ever heard of Gatorade, drop a me in the chat, right? So again, like I said, no trick questions. This is just the, have you ever heard of it, right? So here's the thing. You only heard of these brands because of their marketing. Because of their marketing. If they didn't start their business and start doing marketing, you wouldn't know them right now, right? And so my question to you is, who's hearing about yours? Who's hearing about your business? Are people hearing about it? Or is it just your friends and family? At what point are you going to step outside of just your friends and family, your inner circle, so that you can reach the masses? That's what marketing does. That's what social media marketing allows you to do. I remember having a former client where she was writing a book. So she was the author. She was writing a book and she wanted to start her marketing early. And I told her, you're in a great position because you want to start your marketing now so that when you launch your book, you have an audience to launch it to, right? And so we're working together. And then she realized, you know what? I can't focus on marketing right now. It's too much to focus on the marketing and writing a book. And I said to her, what's going to happen is if you only focus on writing the book, at the end of 3 months, when you're ready to launch, you won't have an audience to launch it to. And she said, okay, well, that's what I'm willing to, that's the risk I'm willing to take. I want you to answer me. What do you think happened to her at the end of 3 months? What do you think happened for her book? Do you think that she was able to launch that book and people bought it? She had no one to launch the book to. She came back to me and said, Star, you're right. I finished writing the book and I have no one to launch it to. We have to get out of this mindset that we must create before we sell. That's the issue. That's what's keeping a lot of you stuck, especially if you have a business where you're getting clients through word of mouth and referrals, right? Some of you keep thinking, I need to have an online e-course before I start selling, before I start creating content, before I start building the brand. Some of you are thinking, I need to have a membership ready to go. I need to have an ebook ready to go. You don't. I always teach my clients, you want to sell it before you build it. Imagine this, your dream clients find you on social media every single day, not just through referrals. They're commenting on your post saying, how can I buy from you? How can I work with you? You're landing more opportunities, speaking engagements, high profile podcasts. Your name is circulating in rooms that you once only dreamed of. And best of all, you're living out the vision God gave you. You're reaching thousands, blessing the people He sent your way, and finally seeing the fruits of all the sacrifice that you've made to build this business. But then you wake up and suddenly reality hits. I don't actually know how to make that happen. That's where social media comes in, not to replace what's already working, but to add a powerful, consistent stream of leads to your business. That's exactly why I want to personally invite you to the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. In just 5 days, you'll learn how to create content that attracts, nurtures, and converts without hopping on trends, dancing for no reason at all, or lip syncing your way to virality. Yeah! Instead, we teach Bible marketing secrets, the same strategies that Jesus used to amass a massive following and convert those followers into believers. Join us now. The link is in the comments, or you can head to contenttocashchallenge.com and join us for the VIP experience. Now back to the training. Sell it before you build it. If you are building in a silo, if you are building and no one knows about it, all you're doing is wasting time. You're working for free. And then you still got to put in the time to build the audience. But if you build the audience and you sell it to them while you're building, guess what? Now you get paid to build that thing. And I'll give you an example. When I first launched the Convert Content to Cash Challenge, I did not build it out. All I did was map out the marketing message and how I was going to sell it. And I went live and I told people I have the challenge ready to go. If you want to join us, sign up now. And guess what happened? People started buying. I was shocked. I was only testing because I wanted to see, do they want this? They started buying. People were opting in for VIP. People were opting in for general admissions. I think the first day I launched, I made $200. And then someone invited me to speak to his audience. I made $900 for the challenge. And I was like, what? But I didn't build anything yet. I had nothing to give to them when they paid me for the challenge. See, some of you keep thinking, but if they pay me, then I have to give them something. But you haven't yet realized that we are in a society where people pay for things and then they wait for it to launch. Think about Amazon. When you buy something from Amazon, how quickly do you get it? How quickly do you get it when you buy something from Amazon? You can just write that in the chat, right? Some of you are going to Beyonce's concert. How quickly is her concert launched after you buy a ticket? It's not right away. There are some people who have been buying the ticket to Beyonce's concert since February. We're in April and she still hasn't had the concert yet. So people are accustomed to investing and then waiting for the launch, right? And so now what happened to me is when people started to invest in the challenge, they actually paid me. I got paid $1,000 to build the challenge. Does that make more sense? I took time to sell to the audience first, build the audience, and they paid me $1,000 to now build this challenge. Who would prefer that as opposed to, let me shoot all these videos now, let me get my e-course ready now, and then wait to launch it? Who would prefer that? Right? Exactly. Danielle says, I would. Absolutely. Renaya says, now 2 to 4 days, if not by a distribution center. Okay, that part. So people are accustomed to waiting. I'd rather someone pay me to build the thing as opposed to me building it in silos. So if you're in here and you're like, hey, that's what I want to be able to, whenever I show up, people are buying. That's the type of energy that you're emitting. Whenever I show up, people are buying. One of my desires for my life is that every time I speak, I make $1,000. Right? And whenever I think about it and whenever I say it, I can see like just these energy particles on my words going out and hitting the ears of people so that their lives can be transformed and that they want to invest, right? In order for me to do that, there's a couple of things that I got to do. But the first thing is making sure that I'm speaking to my dream clients. So how many of you want to have a presence that every time I show up, people are investing, people are buying, people are asking me, how can I work with you? If you're like, that's me, that's what I want, join us in a challenge so we can show you how to do that. Because it is possible. Whenever I tell people the results of my clients, their minds are blown. They're like, what? I work with corporations, not corporations. I work with business owners where the bulk of their money comes from word of mouth and referrals, or they're doing speaking engagements, they're talking to workshops, and they can't even fathom that they're leaving thousands of dollars on the table not utilizing social media for marketing. They can't fathom it because in their minds, the only way to make money is if I'm actually in person with the person. But it's not true. I built a 6-figure brand just by showing up on video and telling people, here's how I can help you. It's the same thing, just different format. So if you're in here and you're like, I want to do that, I want to scale beyond 6 figures, then come on, join us in a challenge. VIP experience is available to you. We have 2 levels. We have VIP experience, and then we have the diamond experience. The VIP experience, you get to join us for our Q&A, our daily Q&A, where you get to ask questions about your content. Why is it that every time you post, the views are low? It feels like Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn is blocking your content. It feels like people aren't opting in and they're not seeing it, but you know that you have a life-changing product. We get to answer those questions for you in the challenge. In the VIP experience, we also audit your videos. So there are some of you right now where you've been putting out videos for months and you don't even know why it's not working, why it's not converting. But you think you're telling yourself, well, this message worked when I was doing it one-on-one. This message works when I'm doing sales calls, but it's slightly different when you're doing videos. So for the VIP experience, we audit your video so that now you know that what you're posting is working and why it's not working if it's not. I had someone in, I think it was February. She went through February's challenge and we started auditing her videos, right? She already had clients. She was working with clients. We were auditing her videos and we were showing her, here's how you pivot your messaging. Here's how you pivot this. She was great at shooting the videos, but it was her messaging that wasn't landing. Do you know that right after the challenge, when she finished the 5 days, she knew exactly what works with her audience and what doesn't work with her audience? She got a new client. Sis got a new client with the video formulas we taught her in the challenge. That was quick. We're talking about fast results. Why? Because social media is fast. It doesn't have to be slow. Will it take time? Absolutely. But we specialize in helping you get quick wins. Why? Because I have seen you posting your content and it barely reaching anyone. And I know how frustrating that is. I know how frustrating it is for you to be the expert in your field and for people younger than you with less experience than you getting more sales and engagement than you. And you just know if the people who you are called to reach, if they could just find you, that they will buy and you will help them to transform their lives. For some of you, it's not just about people buying from you. It's about the transformation that you help them to get. It's about the impact that you help them to make. And in the end, it helps you to sleep better at night knowing that you're leaving a legacy online. You're leaving a legacy in this world. There are some of you where people should be talking about you in rooms that you never heard of yet. And you should be getting opportunities, deals that are opened up to you, whether it's brand deals or you're being called to big stages or you're being called to high profile podcasts or you're being called to speak at conferences. That's what your dream is. You have visions about that. But right now you're in a space where you're getting 200 views for your videos. You're getting 2 comments and one of them is from your best friend who just wants to support you. And then your followers have been stuck. And in your mind, you keep listening to the lie that followers are vanity metrics. That's why you're not even trying anymore. Some part of you believes that social media is vanity metrics. And that's because you keep hearing the gurus say it. But the reality is your followers are your authority. You won't even get asked to be in certain rooms unless your following is at a certain number. So let us help you so that now you're reaching your dream clients and you are helping them get the transformation. But not only that, you're helping them on a larger scale. There's a lot of you in here where it's time for you to go to the next level in your business. You've done this part. Word of mouth, you've mastered it. Referrals, you've mastered it. In-person trainings, you've mastered it. Now it's time to open up another door for lead source and revenue source.